Welcome to Master 2255 English Phrasal Verbs, complete course with 150 categories for fluency. This course is your ultimate guide to mastering English phrasal verbs in every context. Today, we're diving into the 99th category, Activism and Protests. Learn phrasal verbs to make your voice heard. These phrasal verbs are essential for talking about activism, social movements, and standing up for what you believe in. Let's get started. First, we have speak out. This phrasal verb means to express your opinion openly and publicly, especially when it goes against the majority. For example, the activists spoke out against environmental injustice, or more people are speaking out about human rights issues on social media. Next is stand up for. This means to defend or support a person, cause, or idea. You might hear, it's important to stand up for what you believe in, or she stood up for her colleague during the debate. Call for refers to publicly demanding something like action or change. For instance, the protesters are calling for new laws to protect wildlife, or the union called for a national strike to demand better wages. Back up means to support someone or something, often by providing evidence or showing solidarity. You could say, experts backed up the protesters' claims with new research, or her friends backed her up during the public argument. Turnout means to attend or participate in an event like a protest or gathering. For example, thousands of people turned out for the climate change march, or more supporters turned out for the rally than expected. Step down means to resign or leave a position of power or authority. You might hear, after weeks of protests, the CEO finally stepped down, or the leader of the organization announced she would step down due to public pressure. Bring about means to cause or create change. For instance, the protests helped bring about changes in government policy, or their activism brought about a new awareness of environmental issues. Break out refers to something sudden, like the start of a conflict, protest, or fight. You could say, a protest broke out after the controversial announcement, or violence broke out during the demonstration, leading to several arrests. Push through means to force something to happen, like a new law, policy, or change. For example, the government pushed through a new bill despite public opposition, or the activist group is working hard to push through new environmental regulations. Given means to surrender or yield to demands or pressure. You might hear, the company gave in to the workers' demands after a week of protests, or after days of negotiation, the leader gave in and agreed to the protesters' requests. Fight back refers to resisting or defending yourself, often against an attack or criticism. For instance, the community fought back against plans to demolish the local park, or protesters fought back after police attempted to clear the area. Join in means to participate or get involved in an activity, event, or protest. You could say, more people joined in the protest as it moved through the city, or she decided to join in the demonstration after hearing about it on the news. March on means to continue moving forward, often as part of a protest or a large group. For example, the protesters marched on to the government building to demand justice, or, despite the rain, the marchers marched on toward the city center. Rise up means to rebel or take action against authority or injustice. You might hear, the citizens rose up against the oppressive regime, or communities are rising up to demand justice for those affected. Finally, take on means to challenge or confront a person, organization, or issue. For instance, the activist group took on the oil company in court, or he decided to take on the role of leading the protest for workers' rights. These phrasal verbs are essential for talking about activism, protest movements, and calls for justice. Practice using them in conversations about social issues, advocacy, and public demonstrations, and they'll soon become part of your daily vocabulary. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson.